Good morning, everyone. We are live on YouTube. Hello. This is Charlie Live, and I'm here with my co-host, Drake. Drake's already freaking hitting it up. What the hell, Drake? Can't even wait for me to take a dab. Drake's on it. This morning, we have some amazing guys. We're going to be chatting it up with some AutoFlower guys. This amazing beauty was grown by Burt, who we have today we're going to be talking with, and also Jesse from the AutoFlower show. Hi, guys. Welcome.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm good. Let me get chat popped out here. Hey, if you've just turned in, guys, make sure you have it on live chat and not top chat, or you will miss some of the conversation. And also make sure you like, subscribe, and share so we can get all this amazing information out to all you awesome cannabis people out there. So anyways, what are we going to be puffing on today? Let's ask Jesse. What are you puffing on, Jesse?
I was gonna hit. I've got some full melt from Van Gyptian. I took out just this morning, just so it's what is it? Pre-98 Bubba.
Ooh, I like butterfish. Oh my God, fish. Ooh, that sounds amazing. How about you, Burt? What you got?
I have some flower that I got from my buddy here in town.
Nice.
What strain?
It's a Burt from Mass Medical.
You say that again?
How is that? Poontang from.
Oh, okay, Poontang.
It's real tangy.
You don't say.
Poontang. That's funny. I've always wanted to try that one to see what the profile is, but I imagine tangy.
It is. It's real, like tangy, not tangy. I'm sorry. It's real tangy.
Oh, more tangy. Okay, that perks me up a little more.
Yeah.
That does perk me up. Hey, what's the link to this website or to this live? I'll put it in my story. A little swipe up.
Let me get
Coming
the
right
link
at
up
ya.
here. Hold on just a minute.
Can you
Get
DM it to
everything
me?
up.
And the icing on the cake, I'm hitting ice cream cake. That's the last one I just went in on, and that's from another local buddy of mine here, just killing the game, astrometer 710. So been
Yeah, go check him out.
enjoying that. Yeah.
Man, can we quickly talk about banger care? Can I jump right into it?
Absolutely,
please do.
dude. We're gonna jump right into whatever we want to talk about. You go for it.
Well, I'm curious how you guys take care of your banger after, how you clean up the mess.
I am a huge fan of DC glass cleaner.
Me too, big time.
Like I buy bottles. Huge fan. And thanks to Bubble Man, Marcus, he taught me how to dab. Like, I didn't have anybody to learn how to dab with. I literally had no one to teach me how to dab. He's literally who I learned how to dab and make hash.
What was that cleaner?
DC glass cleaner. Dark crystal.
Oh,
Dude, the shit rules though.
Good
It's
old
so
wake and
good
bake.
because it lasts forever. I've had this bottle for like a year. One of the big ones.
Yeah, you got to be
Okay,
very conservative with it. And I mean, I'm the one with just paper towel tech for the most part, right? I pop it in, and once it's done here, pop it off, and then redo, and then I fine tune with the Q-tips on top. And then if I need, I can add either a little distilled water, or if it gets a little chazzy, some DC. But go ahead, Tara.
I kind of go through a bit more. There's these really awesome things that, like, they're alcohol dispensers where you push down and they come out the top. They're also for fingernail polish. And they're amazing to use it for DC glass cleaner. That's what I take with me everywhere.
Nice. I have a little DC bottle that squirts out a little.
Oh,
And
those
then
are
I've
nice
got the
too.
big one that I
Travel ones.
refill it with. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then, but okay, so I go in with a dry Q-tip, get the mess out. Sometimes it takes two, depending on the size of the dab. And then I do the DC, and then I do another Q-tip, and then I'm so anal about this shit. And then I use a glasses cleaning rag, and I like buff the banger afterwards.
I love it.
That's a solid process.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool. That's way cool. Well, I'm gonna finally get a dab in. I'm dabbing some Seattle Chronic Seeds hash. His hash is amazing. First time I'm getting to try it was at the cup, and we are talking with the AutoFlower guys today. If you're just tuning in, we just got back from the cup. Burt and I, I'm like, where is my little thing? This is right here. These things were so cool. The little tags. Were they not, Burt? How was it? What did you think, Burt?
I loved it. It was a great time. I needed that. I needed to get out of the house and just be with people.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. It was just like 300 of your best friends, you know? It wasn't.
Oh my God, was it not? I felt like I knew all of you and I'd never even met you before.
I didn't meet anybody. I mean, I didn't introduce myself. I'm not like that. So I just sat there and got high with everybody. I never said much, but we had a great time. I did.
So funny.
So, but yeah, it was great.
So what would you say was your biggest takeaway from the event? As far as the knowledge, like, did you learn anything that was just like super dope?
I learned about this stuff. I didn't have this in my garden before then. So.
Oh shit. Dynamite-Co, that shit's popping off.
And he told me, he said, because you seen the dynamite sticks that they have now? He said, oh, that's for the shark in Jaws. It blows them up. So I thought that was good. But yeah, this is the best thing I brought back.
So that's really cool. So it's about microbes, right?
No,
And, isn't it microbes or isn't it
mycelium?
No,
it's an inoculation.
It's for the roots, to feed the roots.
So
it's fungus.
Right. Okay. So it's all fungus, straight fungus.
Yeah.
That one's
yeah.
straight
I don't think Dynamite-Co is any microbes.
It says it. Oh, I thought it was.
No, I could get some.
Oh, okay.
Give me a sec. I'll read the thing.
Okay. See how I am? I didn't actually go to the booth. I skipped that booth. See, Drake and I make all our own nutrients. And I'm not shaming anybody for buying their nutrients. This is just what Drake and I do. This is our style. It's the most cheapest, most economical way and most healthy because I'm a cancer survivor. So I just really want to stay away from any chemicals or any products in that way. But if other guys use it, that's like totally your thing. Like I'm not like bashing on you by any means. Please.
It's organic. It's definitely
awesome.
just.
It is organic.
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
Cool.
It's mycorrhizal inoculant powder ineffectively inoculates plant roots with vigorous endomycorrhizal fungi. And so the inoculation rate, it does somewhere. Application rate, initial application, product composition, glomus and intraratus. Yeah. And so the propagule rate is pretty insane. So it's 2,500 per gram.
That's wicked. No, yeah, any sort of mycorrhizal products always do really well for helping the rooting process, right? They have those interactions with the roots and they're able to reach much further than just where the root can itself. And there's a whole plethora of different products. Lots of them have different aspects that incorporate a little bit more, microbiology, and other ones are more singular. But they all seem to have pretty beneficial results when tested. So, we've got the Blue Sky Organics at the headquarter right by. So I know that's a really popular one for around the Okanagan. We've got the Blue Sky Organics. Myco, I'm not sure exactly what the coin of their name is. I have some around from prior, and products like Recharge. That one's a little more diverse. I know it's got some fungus and bacteria. A good diversity of things. There we go. Look at that. There's some Recharge right there. So
okay. So then, are we comparing? Is okay. So I want to make sure I'm not like getting this all screwed up because I get kind of this products confused. So you're saying that dyno is similar to the Recharge and to like maybe or no?
This has a lot of stuff in it though, but that only has dyno in it.
Yeah, I believe Recharge has I'm pretty sure it has the glomus induratus, and there's a few different variations of that, and I'm definitely mispronouncing it. but yeah, there's specialized ones that are shown to work well, and other one, sometimes there's I don't want to necessarily say entourage effect, but different things work well, other things work synergistically, other things work in a mutualistic or a non-mutualistic way. So some of the products are just a little bit more diverse, but I don't want to knock any individual products. They all seem to work pretty well.
It's not about knocking products. It's just about trying to understand them so that people know that they don't have to have 20 products when maybe they have one that's similar, and I don't promote any products on this show. I'm not here to sell any products on this show. I'm just here to sell knowledge, not sell, give away free knowledge. Don't sell. I'm here to give away free knowledge and help people understand this plant and our bodies a little bit better. So that's all I'm here to do. So we have some amazing people turning in chat, by the way. We have Gingerbug out here. We have John Maddox. We have Cheddar Bob tuning in. I have to say hello to all these amazing people out here chatting away. Supreme Grape, hello. What are y'all puffing on? We didn't even ask what what everybody's puffing on yet today, Drake. What the hell?
I don't know what everyone's puffing on.
Yeah, we did. Didn't we? I don't know.
We didn't ask chat. We didn't ask chat.
On, that's for sure.
We all talked about what we were chatting on. Yeah, we got to talk to our chat for a minute. Yeah. We didn't ask chat what they're all puffing on. Hope you're all getting high and happy and having a great day out there. Green Gratis just tuning in. Hello. So Michael Jordan is another great product that Cheddar Bob's
Elite 91. Definitely hear a lot of good stuff about that and see some really crazy pics. I follow a few of those, I think just tags or maybe the company on Insta.
I'm gonna have to turn on my headset. I'm not hearing you very well, Drake. And I'm having is everybody hearing Drake okay? I know Drake had some computer difficulties. It might just be me.
I can hear him fine.
You got it's just
but
me.
I've got headphones in.
I have hearing difficulties. So I'm going to put is everybody out in chat hearing Drake? Okay. I want to just make sure we're getting, oh, by the way, guys, so we got 2 shows planned for you today. We actually had a breeder that was going to come on, the breeder that actually bred this amazing plant right here, was going to come on this morning, but he got called into work. So we're going to have another show later today at 3:00. And we're going to bring him back on and actually talk about the breeding and of his plant. But right now, we actually have the grower of this plant, Mr. Krusty, in the house. Krusty Socks, Burt. What's up? Go follow this guy on Instagram and also go follow the AutoFlower show. I need to show those guys' Instagram off. But Burt, do you want to tell me about this plant and like how you grew it and what you grew it with? And did you train it? Like this stalk is like, frick, this baby's
it's
like,
mighty fine.
So tell us about it.
I didn't train it at all. I've had a lot of bad luck with AutoFlower, so I've been trying to leave them alone. I tuck the leaves a lot. That's about it. So I think that's how all the tops came up so well.
Nice.
It was on Dynagrow.
Okay.
Nutrients. And that's about it. It was planted on a 510.
Everybody's doing the math.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to find my other phone so I can look at the date.
Seriously, 510?
Yeah.
Wow. She's beautiful.
Firebuds Genetics is the breeder.
Yeah.
And he's constantly breeding. His aim is like 80 to 90 day.
I was gonna say that's going to be right around 85 days, somewhere in there, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So what is this? The Autobot though on the back of it says. So is that's
the strain?
The strain of what that is.
So and then if you read underneath it, that's the cross. And he called it the Autobots.
And so is that what this is?
No, that's a candy avalanche.
Which is the California snow.
I was actually supposed to get the seeds that this plant was. That was the point of buying the thing. Remember that?
Yeah. You didn't get the seeds?
I got different seeds.
Those are good ones too. I've grown those. They're great.
Okay. Well, so I actually ended up with this beautiful girl from the auction. You must have donated her to the auction, so thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Tara shows up with a plant on the way home. She goes, "Hey, look at this." I'm like, What is that?" She's like, "You never believe it." And like, yeah, that was awesome. Clutch move.
That's
and
so funny.
so she has a new place in the garden, and yeah. So do you want to tell us a bit more about her then? What else can you tell her? Tell us about her.
I guess what's the profile on it? Like, if you've grown it before, like, is it a upper, a downer,
First
or is
time
it
grow?
first time?
It's my first time growing it. It's an indica.
Okay.
It's a hybrid, but it's mostly indica.
Cool. Either way, it looks nice. Like the size on that, and I imagine it's grown in an indoor environment.
Yeah, it was grown in
Cool.
the hydro buckets.
Okay, wicked.
Or not the hydro buckets, the bucket company.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that are behind him there.
Yeah. Purple ones.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty. So, wow, no pruning, no nothing. Like this would be great for beginners. This would be great. Go ahead.
Yeah, Firebuds took a little bit of stuff off of it to make it look nice in the pot. Because
Wow.
I brought it from California, so it had a rough ride.
Yeah, long road.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're in California. I totally forgot about that. I was thinking you were from up here. That's right.
Taxa, you mentioning that being great for beginners is definitely something that's true, because it's something you can easily narrow in on. But we've also got a great transition here with the AutoFlower show. He's got something else that's going to be great for everyone, beginners included. Do you want to touch on that a little bit there, Jesse?
Yeah, sure. So it's called AutoFlower 101, and we do gear it towards beginners, but I mean, every grower, if you're, I don't know, any grower worth his salt knows that he or she always has more to learn. And so, we get into the thick of it as the class goes on, but to talk about the class, it's called AutoFlower 101, and it's the basics of growing autoflowers. That's how we gear it, at least. And it's taught by Firebuds 101, which is the breeder of that plant right there. Also, go ahead. Yeah, all of those. His flagship strain is called Care Bears. And so if you're in the autoflower scene, you've most likely heard about the Care Bears. And then he won the very first AutoFlower Cup. So naturally, he was a guest on my show, and then from there we started this class a year ago. And so it's on Sundays at 10 a.m. PST, and it actually starts tomorrow morning. And so it's live on Instagram at the AutoFlower Show, hosted by me, taught by him. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an expert by any means. I just have a platform to give the experts a voice. So that's the whole point of it. And so there's 8 sponsors of the event. There's weekly giveaways, so you got to be live to win. So weekly giveaways, and then there's also a huge grand prize, which is based on attendance. So if you're there for 10 or more classes, you'll be put into the draw to win almost an entire grow setup. There's just no tent or cannon fan, but pretty much everything else. Oh, look at that.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, we were chatting about that a little bit prior, and I think that sounds fantastic. And for anyone that's just curious about getting into it, or maybe anyone that's already in the game but hasn't really taken a good swing at autos, instead of just going out there and shooting in the dark, it's always nice to get a good understanding of what you're going to be dealing with, and maybe figuring out what some of the leading genetics are in the industry, because we all know, and I know specifically, I got 5 or 6 auto plants outside in between my full-term plants right now, and one of them is a 1.5 feet tall, and nothing too sweet. It just did not take off. It wasn't too swell. The other 4 or 5 are 5 feet tall, and I just threw out a plethora of random things. So if you don't know what your genetics are and where they came from, you might have an issue. And all this stuff will be definitely encompassed, just getting a nice understanding. So.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I'm a little stoned and I didn't give too many details on the class. So what we do is we go live every Sunday for the duration of an autoflower crop, and Firebuds tells us what we need to do for the week. And so our first week, starting tomorrow, we're going to be just putting beans in the dirt. And so to keep it easy for beginner growers, we don't germinate in anything but in straight into the soil, and we put it in its final home. And yeah, so that starts tomorrow, and then from as the weeks go on, it'll be about 15 or 16 weeks, I believe, because you've got 90 days to grow it, then 10 days to dry it, and then the final class will be kind of trim day and grand prize draw. And
Well,
so,
geez, I got beans. Maybe I should pop some beans tomorrow.
Yeah, it would be awesome to have you partake. It'd be fantastic. The more the merrier. And then the best part about it is it's not a competition. We're just here to kind of learn. You know, we're not trying to compare buds and say, oh, mine are better at the end of or it's not like a grow off. It's a place for people to feel safe and to ask questions that they just don't know the answers to.
And in a sense,
that's beautiful.
just show off where autos are at, right? So it's seen a lot of really nice products, and the general consensus is still like the typical, like you think of auto, you think of lowrider, you think a little scraggly, not very high yielding, not terpy plant. Whereas now it's got some pretty nice renditions, and like in the ideal environments, I'm still leaning towards like outdoors, still leaning towards full terms, but like say California. But where I am specifically close to where you are, the Pacific Northwest here, these are perfect plants for this. And instead of dicking around with one full term like I'm going to be doing this year and having to either light dep or deal with the temperature and all the issues, you can have 2-3 crops come off real nicely with autos. And they're the ones that I even have outside that aren't too insane are looking real nice.
Yeah, autos, I don't know. I like to just like kind of be silent about it. I'm not gonna be yelling from the top of mountaintops how dope they are. I like how good they're getting, but it's definitely something that has really come super far. And I kind of just quietly, like when people are like, oh, autos suck, or they've got bad words for them, I just, I got a few words to say to that. And it's, we've been growing cannabis for how long? Like something like 1800 years. And AutoFlowers have been 50 years in the development. So let's just give it some time and see where it goes, because they're already at like an equal the highest testing autos, or whatever, the best autos are equating to some of the best photos, maybe not the very best, but we're getting there, right? And on the I don't really believe in percentage tests and stuff like that as far as just THC. It's not the only thing I'm looking for. But anyways, you test an auto, it's coming out very similar nowadays to some of your photos. So just wait and see where it goes. Like I couldn't imagine where it's going to be. I can't imagine where it's going to be in 20 years.
Sure.
And there's a few cats out there doing it really well. Daz Mephisto, or Daz Night Owl Mephisto, he like worked with them, learned all his stuff from Mephisto. So they're both very top of the line. There's Rock Buds, there's Fire Buds 101 or Fire Buds Genetics, there's Mandalorian Genetics. There's a few others. Ethos is also killing it.
Dan Mandalorian, we've had him on. Just
Dan Mandalorian is he's
the
a
one
killer,
with the
man.
purple hash we're talking about, you guys. We just had on last week ago or so. You can go back and watch that.
He won the AutoFlower Cup, the extracts, right? With his Bobby's Widow, not with the purple hash.
No.
It was with Bobby's Widow, not Anvil. Yeah, I think he just had Bobby's.
I don't think he had enough hash to turn in, maybe.
Exactly.
Something like that, yeah.
Now, I would have loved to have been to the Cup, but being Canadian, I'm on the island. I would have just taken a ferry to Washington, but they shut that ferry down for the summer. So I just washed my hands of it. I was like, you know what? I'll just plan to go next year.
Yeah, and that's Drake and I haven't even actually met up in person. That border is just keeping us separated, unfortunately. But hey, at least we're all able to at least do this and get, do stuff. You guys can have events up there and we can have events down here like we just had. So we're lucky. Hello, JC, just tuning in. Hello. How are you? Anthro, good morning. How are you? Hey guys, so if you have any questions, we got the AutoFlower show guy on today. And as you can see, and Burt, he is the grower of this beautiful AutoFlower next to me, which there's going to be a growing tomorrow. If you didn't hear that, if you're just tuning in, GAC, you might have just heard. Get over and check this guy out over here at the AutoFlower show. Let me show off his page again. Do you want me to show anything specific on your page?
Yeah,
By the
so
way?
I just put it in the chat. There's one post there. If you scroll down, it's blue. It's really blue, light blue. Keep going. Keep going.
Right there.
No, keep going.
Oh, that.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. Yep. I didn't see it, but yeah. So that's the kind of poster for the class here. So I'll just read it out loud. So if anybody's not
Perfect.
looking at the screen or listening, yeah. So anyways, it's AutoFlower 101 returns. So this is the second installment of it. We did it a year ago. And it's a beginner's class on the basics of growing autoflowers. Class starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, and it's every Sunday for the duration of that autoflower crop. It's hosted on my Instagram, which is at the AutoFlower Show. It's taught by the breeder of that plant there, Firebuds 101, and it's brought to you in part by Dino Myco and TMB Naturals. So they are the title sponsors of the event, and there is yet another, I think, 6 sponsors. But yeah, if you join us tomorrow morning, you'll get to get the feel of it and see what it's all about. We do a live Q&A from the audience. So we will cover what we're going to do for the day and the week coming. And then we get to questions from the audience. And then also we have guests. So the sponsors or other people that we feel could add some really nice insights to the class throughout the weeks. We bring in guests as well. And the interesting part about this year compared to last year is last year Instagram limited it to only 2 people. So you could only have Instagram only allowed you to have 2 people on screen, and now you can have 4, I think. So we can actually get the guests on, and both the teacher and myself can interview them. So that's going to be a whole nother level of knowledge that we're going to be able to acquire compared to last year, because I'm a noob. I've only got new questions. I've only got questions that somebody who's been growing for 2 years can develop. So, and coming from Firebuds, he's been growing for 30 years, I believe. So he's going to have some fucking questions, you know, yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Like, we're able to come together like that though on this, and you guys are putting this out there for free for anybody to learn. I think that's amazing. I mean, just that's great. There are so many new beginners. A lot of us say, like, these people that have been growing for 20 years or so on and so on, like even us, like that are new right now, we are so far ahead of the rest of the world. Like, this is a new thing. Like, don't feel like you don't know where to start right now. Like now is a perfect time. You're not late. This is new. Everything is new. Like, it's fresh. I love it.
Especially,
go ahead.
I was going to say, especially in this new era of legalization, as other roads are getting paved, we're finding it to be a lot easier to grow at home in peace and not really worry about it. But go on, Drake.
No, exactly. That's what it is. And it's kind of just like if you look over, and I don't know how I ended up making the comparison, but with like microbreweries, there's still, if you're interested, if you're passionate, you're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to make something for yourself that you really enjoy. And with cannabis, it's going to be the same thing. And then with cannabis, we all know just how, the plethora of benefits that come with it. So being able to produce your own cannabis for whatever your intake reasons are, it's going to be really beneficial because you just know what goes into it. The products, even if you're using bottles, exactly what's in there, and you're not just taking somebody's word, which is also fine. You gotta be trusting, but it's always nice to do things ourselves. And it's just something that we love to preach. And with cannabis, the way it's going, with you mentioned legalization, if you start crafting a product for yourself that you really enjoy, that just works amazing for you, and other people start, just your friends are obviously going to be able to try your stuff because they're around you, and so on and so forth. You may just craft a lane you didn't even know you were doing just because you're making some product for yourself. So that's something that's attainable as well. So there's lots of careers and stuff that are going to be available in this as well. There's a lot of different facets.
If I could touch on that.
Of course.
So when COVID hit, I was just growing a couple plants in a tent, and then I started the Instagram for the AutoFlower Show and yada yada yada. Through my knowledge of social media from my music career, I was able to navigate Instagram rather quickly and climb rather quickly because it's cannabis content, right? And with cannabis or cannabis content, cannabis related, whatever, it pretty much sells itself. Everybody that loves weed eats it up. And they want to see that content. That's
Yes,
pretty
we
much
do.
all. That's what my feed is. There's nothing other than like weed, skateboarding. There's a little bit of fishing. There's like, but it's weed. You know, you scroll down my feed, it's weed. And so I knew that you know the supply and demand was there. If I was growing, I had supply, and I knew that the demand was there. And from that, through my success with the AutoFlower show, I've been able to take that to the legal sector and say, hey guys, look at what I did with a tent. Now imagine what I can do with your 100 lighter, or imagine what I can do with your facility, right? Just give me the Instagram and the okay to do it. And I've been able to start a career in that now. And so I work for micro facilities and doing their social media.
And that's awesome. And that's exactly what I'm thinking about. Things that just kind of come together naturally because of just trying to do what's in your best interest.
Carving your own lane by accident is really what I'm saying. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen, you know, and it was just like, it just makes sense now. And other people see the work and then they hit me up and they're like, hey man, can you come do this for me? And I'm like, yeah, of course.
You know? Do you want to tell everybody what you did before this? Do you want to tell everybody kind of like a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was a kid. So for 10 years, I was a sponsored skateboarder. And then, but that didn't make me any money. That was just like local sponsors. And I didn't graduate high school or anything. So I went straight to working for my dad as a tile setter. And then, yeah, that sucked. And then I was always a musician. I started playing music and skateboarding at the same time. Sing and play guitar and other instruments, but I play guitar mainly because I wanted to be able to sing and didn't want to have to rely on anybody else to show up. And then it was like, I can't remember how old I was. I think I was like, well, it would have been 2 years ago, 3 years. So I was like 24, 25, and I like played an open mic, and a couple professional musician friends of mine, like they were full-time musicians, they were like, dude, you should be doing this like with us. What are you doing? Like, why are you setting tile? And then so I think two buddies told me that, and it gave me a lot of like inspiration to try it. And then I got my first gig, and from there it just snowballed, and I was like a full-time musician for 3 years, and then COVID hit. And so I moved to Victoria I started in Kelowna, and I moved to Victoria to tackle the scene here. And yeah, COVID hit. And so I didn't have any connections to stay afloat as a musician. So I got this like shitty delivery job, then got fired due to COVID, and then was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And I started the podcast, and here we are.
Crazy story.
So it just happened. So yeah, things just snowball. Thank you for going into that. We love to get a little backstory on things. And yeah,
it was wild. It's so fucking wild. Like, hey, April 27th, 2020 was the day I released my first episode, and now it's at where I'm getting like some really insane support. It's been like overwhelming. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I've cried a couple times, being like, holy fuck, this is happening. Like just like so overwhelmed by it all. Yeah, like, what is going on
together, right?
Yeah, so it's been really cool. I'm really humbled, really grateful. I don't know what I did in whatever to deserve this circumstance, but it's been a trip. Really fun.
Well, you know,
really
sometimes cool. It's just getting out there and saying yes. You know, I mean, like this, just going and meeting people, it opens doors, and you just never know what door is going to be opened if you say yes to things. It's amazing. Like, I was so lucky that I traveled around to all of the events before they all closed down, before COVID. Like, if I wouldn't have went that last year and went and said yes to go to the Emerald Cup, go to this and go to that, I would never went, you know? So I encourage everybody that's thinking about, should I go or should I not go? I was seriously considering not going to the AutoFlower Cup. And it was, oh my God, there was so much love and family and just inspiring people there that, like, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I like if it's next to me again, I will go. Like, how could I, I guess it's been a while since I've been to events, so I was actually considering not going.
Like, yeah, for everyone.
Crazy.
Too.
Maybe I forgot. I don't know. But I hope y'all don't forget what it's like and get out there and get to some of these events. And also, we're going to have Firebeds on later today, you guys, at 3:00 back with AutoFlower Show. And they're going to be kicking off an awesome grow if you're just tuning in. Make sure you also go follow these guys on Instagram. They're going to be putting out some awesome information. And there was a question in chat, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to answer this for you today. Or actually right now, I bet you at 3:00 we'll really be able to answer this question for you. And it was, do autos prefer more nutrients or the same or less than your other plants? Can you guys answer that question?
I could kind of attest to it, but it's weird, the answer. Like if I've grown in soil, you started in Pro Mix, like just nothing in it, and you're going to give it nutrients. Then or also cocoa's the same. I've reached to exactly full strength as to what that schedule tells me to do. Now, if you have any sort of nutrient value in your soil, then you can, it's tough. It's just tough. It's super hard. However, like you said, later on at 3:00, that question can be answered a little bit better. I'm still very new. I don't know if Krusty might have a good answer for that.
That was about what I would say too.
It's like it's super tough.
They start off slow, but then they finish off just like a photo.
Mm-hmm. So but what we teach in the class is he starts with a soil that has nutrient value. So he originally was growing with Fox Farm Happy Frog, and so not Ocean Forest, which is quite a bit more nutrient rich than the Happy Frog. Anyways, so he starts with that and he goes 14 days with just water.
That's good to know. Drop that knowledge one more time for those that didn't hear it, because there might be some new growers out there that are looking into new soil, which I know a lot of people have. So yeah, go ahead and drop that knowledge again.
So Fox Farm Ocean Forest, I've heard, and this is not from experience, but what I've heard is that it's far too hot far too nutrient rich for autoflowers. Now, Fox Farm Happy Frog is not. There's also other soils that work fine. If you're in Canada, the Blue Sky super soil is the bag super soil. It's a great starter. You're going to have to either amend, or you can add nutrients at a quarter strength. And that's what we're teaching the class. That's how we teach the class. He basically starts with bagged super soil of some sort. It's got nutrient value. And then by day 14, we're adding a quarter strength of the nutrients. And he also goes on like how much water we need to give it. And he talks about his method of watering these seedlings to get them to get to a plant like what's in front of you. I believe Krusty was actually there for the first installment of the class.
Everyone.
Yeah. So I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me. It has to have been over 1,000 people who have reached out to me and said, hey man, that class is like the only reason why I have success right now. And I've come so far from there. And it's like, I'm so excited that you're doing this other one or whatever that, it's really wild. The class does have a lot to offer. And yeah, like you said, it's free for the audience. And so
That's awesome, hope to see dude. So how many people do you think you had took the class?
So last year, like there's no sign up, there's no nothing. You just got to show up. You got to know it. If you're in the know, you show up. So last year, by the end of the class, we broke 100 people in the live.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. That would be really interesting. However, I've noticed that, as COVID has started to kind of relieve, or, the lockdowns and stuff aren't so much there. There's less viewership on the lives. It's as simple as it is. I don't really care. Everybody
has to realize like August is one of those months, like everybody is busy. Like August is the busiest month in the world right now for everybody. And viewership is down right now. And so don't like get discouraged at all if you're out there doing that stuff because it's just normal. And we're all busy doing our summer grows right now. It's, we all got to finish our harvests and stuff right now. So, and our garden and everything.
And another thing too is a big amount of my audience is from the States. And I know that a lot of people in the States go to church and stuff on Sunday mornings. So it's like, hey, I like, people in Canada do as well. So it's kind of like I didn't necessarily choose.
I used to go to Hash Church. People. You'll have to be my new Hash Church.
That's right, man.
I did.
You're not the first person to say that.
I was a Hash Churcher. You're going to be my new Hash Church. It's going to be AutoFlower Church, I guess.
I can't wait to have you there. And so,
Church. See y'all tomorrow, AutoFlower Church. I'll be dabbing.
Yeah. That's what's up. It's going to be a good time, man. I'm really excited. The cultivars that we're growing are, one of them is a Mandalorian and Firebuds genetics collab. It's called Mandalorian fruit, which is the Anvil crossed with his Care Bears. And so those
I'm
are like
jealous. I bet that's amazing.
They're wild. I haven't grown one out. I've seen lots of pictures. They sold out like within hours. So it was
beautiful colors.
Yeah, super deep purples. And then secondly, Firebuds won the AutoFlower Cup in 2019 with Fast Buds Blackberry. So we decided that would be a good cultivar to run. And because it's also like black purple. So they're going to look really nice together. And so those are the two cultivars we're doing. And I think we're going to do 5 plants in total.
Wicked.
And so one thing too, if anybody's watching and does want to come, what we're going to do, so we're going to have 4 plants that are acclimated so that we can teach people how to deal with it then to plant their seeds. But we're also going to leave one out to show you exactly how we get prepared for the seed. So what that entails is we will water down our plants 24 hours before planting the seed. And that'll just be with pH water and CalMag. And the CalMag will always go in full strength with autos. We always add our CalMag at full strength. I use organic Cal from Future Harvest. So it's OMRI certified or OMRI listed, bottled CalMag. So it just makes it easy for me and I can still kind of stay a hybrid organic situation. Anyways, so you give your water full CalMag to the pot and you leave it under the light for 24 hours.
Show us again, Krusty. Go ahead, Krusty.
This is not the same one as.
No, but it's CalMag.
Okay.
It's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that we water our plants down and we leave it under the light and we leave the light on for 24 hours. And that way that pot gets to the same temperature as the room. And so when you put your seed in, what I find Firebuds has found in his years of growing, and I agree since doing this, that you get your seeds pop like a day earlier because they're already warm, they're cooking in there and boom, it's like within 24 to 48 hours, you've already got, your seeds popped up. And so, so what we're going to do is we're going to have 4 prepped to be able to teach people how to put the seed in, but then we're going to leave one out to show them exactly what we do to acclimate our plants. So if you can't pop beans tomorrow, or if you need to, show up a day late or what the fuck ever, you can. This way it's not a grow off. It's not to see who can finish first or grow the best. It's just, hey, let's learn together. So hopefully we can all kind of start within the same week. Another thing I suggest to people
I'm hearing a full moon out there. When's the next full moon? We like to plant by the moon. We're a little, we're kind of like crystals around here. No, I'm just joking.
That's okay. I collect crystals. I like crystals. But yeah, another thing that I've told people too who have been like, oh, I can't make it there for the first week. It's like, well, then come the second week, plant then, and you're gonna have you're gonna be a week in the future on your knowledge. and
Well,
you
yeah,
might,
you've just got a laid out frickin'
yeah,
your recipe is laid out for you in advance, so you can kind of go through and maybe triple down instead of just going live. I mean, you can do that anyways, right? And I always suggest that. Watch instead of trying to do stuff and follow along, unless maybe that's the theme of the show, which I'm sure some may be. But for the most part, you can watch and get a good understanding. Maybe watch it again and then go through once you're really confident, because when we're talking, when we're moving quick, it's pretty easy to skip little tiny steps and glance over things, and it's just
and to miss exactly how he's tucking a leaf or whatever. Like you're so right. And now another thing too is they go like they're live and then they go instantly onto the IGTV. So you have no hiccup time between being able to watch it again. Yeah. Now, and then eventually because I'm a busy fucking guy, but when I'm done or when I get the chance, I edit the episodes and put them onto Spotify and 10 other platforms. And so you can't miss it if you listen to, if you listen to podcasts, you can't miss it. So it's essentially I just tried to be accessible as possible. That's all I wanted for people to be able to learn. Because when I started up growing autos, my first couple sucked because I had no knowledge and nobody to talk to. And so that's simply
so honestly, my first autos, I literally didn't give them a chance. Like, cause I had heard like so much junk about them. And like they were gifted to me at the show, and I really didn't respect them. And actually, if I would have taken care of it, and it was a Lions Club breed, and it was amazing breed, and it turned out amazing. Like even if I would have taken care of it, I'm like, oh my God, imagine what it could have been, Wow. So I'm a true believer in AutoFlowers. If you're an indoor person, I mean, look how fast this girl, you said in May, you planted this girl in May
10th. Yeah.
May 10th.
That's what he said.
Look at that. And in 2 weeks, I'll be harvesting her. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really good. It's really good bumper crop. If you grow outdoors, you take a fifth of your space and you fill it with autos. And then you're cropping out long before the rest of them are ready, and you can throw them back again. And this way your farm or whatever it is can get, maybe it's you and just your meds. You can get the money or get the smoke much sooner and get yourself there. He's showing us some autos. Looks like
Drake's are going to show us his auto. Let me spotlight you there, Drake. Give me a minute. There you go.
Yeah, here's a couple that are in between my main crops. See if I can move this Congo out of the way.
Yeah, see, he's got bumper autos. This is perfect.
Yeah, here's the main crop. And here's I planted them all just kind of in between. It's not like they're not.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
but they're not small. Go ahead.
I need to go. My granddaughter's here.
Okay.
Not a problem, Burt. We'll see you later.
All right. Good night.
Thanks for hanging out, dude. It was good to see you.
All right. Have a good one.
We'll see you at 3. Okay, I was like, if he can't figure out how to go, I can help him. Make sure. Drake, where'd you go? We lost you.
1 second. I'll move. I'll come back. Give me one other side view.
I was just letting you. Okay, I was like, we lost you. Let me spotlight you again. There we go.
So this one's like, just about 3.5. Well, I guess just over 4 feet tall. Here's my 4 foot tall fencing. And then the one over there is a little bit larger. That one's probably closer to 5.5 or so, 5 feet tall. And some decent weight on it. We'll see when I trim it down, but they've gotten no love at all. Nothing specific. I water this whole area once a week, and it gets 5 gallons per 3x3 area of soil. So it's not a lot. And then because we're just starting to get into transition with these ladies now, these plants have seen heavy veg and transitional seeding. They haven't tailored anything specific to them. I only water the whole areas, and due to it just being a kind of a whole system, they just get what they get. And I mean, they're pretty happy. And
tell me this, Drake, when you're in living soil, the plant kind of drives, right? The plant decides what it's taking up.
A lot of the time, right? It has the interactions with the microbes and the different contents of the soil, and they kind of have little exchanges, and they kind of trade what they need. And buffer it for each other. And there's a lot that it can do when you have a pretty synergistic system going on. But if you overload it with plant available nutrients, you're still going to run into certain issues.
Lockouts and stuff. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now what you've done then by having an auto beside that, do you think that maybe you've depleted the nutrients that photo period is going to need for flower, and you're going to like give it a tea later or something like that?
Seems all right.
But once it starts flowering, is it flowering already?
No,
No,
they're
it's not
just barely
starting, but no.
starting. But I don't think a little plant like that could actually take enough nutrients up. See, with this Jadam thing, it's not about like feeding. It's like feeding the soil constantly and feeding like all the plants and everything else around it and the abundancy. So it's not so much about like just having nutrients for one plant specific. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the ducks.
Interesting.
I love the ducks. Oh, it talked.
Oh my goodness.
Little sassy.
Can we just watch the duck for a few hours?
Yeah, there's big old Dabs. Hey, Dabs.
Globby.
Did you hear him hiss? He hisses. Watch, listen. He did it.
Big boy.
Man, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, my
And
little
then his
raptor duck.
feathers go up on the top of his head like a
Yeah.
mohawk. It's so
Yeah,
freaking
he's got
cool.
hackles. Like what? Is he friendly?
Oh yeah. This guy's super friendly.
Oh, Drake
That's
picks
so
him up
sweet.
and takes him in the house and cuddles with him and everything, dude.
I've seen that.
Yeah. He's still
a friendly boy.
He looks pissed when he throws up his hair like that.
Oh no, he's a good boy. Huh? Aren't ya?
Come here, buddy. Come here.
Oh no way. What are we seeing? You're gonna have to change the spotlight. What are you showing us?
Come here, boy. Come here. Come on. He's like, what do you want, Dad?
Oh, do we have more? What are we spotlighting now? Who do we got? Oh, cute.
Oh, look at that.
He's got a mohawk too.
I love it. You know what? My lab gets a mohawk too, and she gets pissed off. That's funny. That's so
His
cool.
name's
I
Rufio.
love animals. Do we not all have animals? Do y'all have animals in chat? I want to know if y'all in chat have animals, and I want to know what you have and what its name is. Because I am such an animal lover. Oh my God,
Me too.
I'm an animal lover. I want to know what your animal's name is, what it is, how many you got. It might take some of you guys a long time because I have chickens and I have geese and like I can't name them all because actually I didn't name all of them because it's really sad when my chickens die. And I hate when I name them.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've had some bad luck, but anyways, we won't go there.
That little guy's name is Rufio.
Rufio, that's
from the
cute.
movie Hook.
Oh, yes.
He's got okay. So when I had him, he didn't have a name for two weeks, and I'm like holding him. And I was at my mom's house, and I'm like playing with his hair with his mohawk, and I made a 3-winged mohawk. And my mom from across the house, she's like, he looks just like Rufio. And I was like, that's his name, Mom. That's his name.
You got it.
Yeah,
Just started
you nailed
chanting
it.
Rufio, didn't you, in the whole house?
Rufio. Yeah, Rufio.
Rufio.
Rufio. Oh, he's looking at me. He's
that's
like, what do you want?
What's going on? I was just over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
is
funny.
so awesome.
Yeah, he's a great dog. He's a mini Dachshund Yorkie.
Oh, okay,
So
there
he's
we
a
go.
dorky.
A little dorky.
Mm-hmm.
A dorky.
A dorky.
Yeah.
A dorky.
He's almost 9 years old.
I love it. Well, y'all, I think we should take one final big dab and a big last puff with our chat here, and we'll see you guys all at 3:00 later today, because we are going to have the breeder back on on for this AutoFlower plant right here, and we're going to talk to him about genetics. And the grower was just here. You got to meet him, Burt. Hopefully he'll be back also at 3:00. And you'll understand a little bit more how this plant's grown and everything about it. And we were actually planning that this morning, but he got called into work. As you know, we all have these other jobs that actually support us sometimes.
And I'll quickly touch on the last part before I get Tara to look in the chat to see everyone's pets and animals. If anyone got back to us now that that's had enough time to go through. But prior to that, just to answer your question a little bit more there, AutoFlower, Jesse, we're going to still, with the procedure that we're going through, be providing specific inputs throughout the whole period. So I'm not worried at all. And in a system where you had, I wouldn't be worried in general at all anyway, even if you weren't doing too much inputting, because lots of the stuff we're doing is once we follow the base principles for the next season, it's going to be kind of extra and on top and really just things you don't necessarily need to do and things that make it less sustainable because it's a lot more inputs that are going to just over the top and like, okay, add a little bit of the specific bone ferment during the transitional period and just prior so you can start really pushing a lot of nodes. You want a lot more nodes being forced together and things like that, but you don't have to necessarily do it. So for the next season, what I'm trying to get at is when we do things right, we have the proper cover and companion plants that have been dropped. We're not really going to have to worry about any plant individually leaching too many of one nutrient from us. We have a diverse enough system for the most part and a large enough system that there's not going to be one, like even if we plant like say 5 to 10 autos in between every plant, I don't think that's going to mess up the amount of available nutrients for the full term plants.
That's very cool. So you're kind of rocking like a permaculture situation.
It's similar in a lot of ways to a bunch of these different more just following nature systems, let's call it, just to keep it bland and vague. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of differences with all these different systems. There's very specific regimens.
Another question, you're straight in the ground, right?
Yeah, straight in the soil.
So my question would have been more geared towards somebody in a smaller bed then, wouldn't it have been?
So if and in that context, I'm in the same way, not having 20 plus years of experience trying everything myself. I always like to defer to people who have done things personally. My opinions on the sector are depending how small you're talking. If we're talking at least like a 3x3 bed or bigger, we should be able to work with the principles and get away with things. But we're like, there's going to be tailoring to be done, right? You're going to be working with depending your system, maybe you're top dressing at certain times to compensate. Maybe you're adding certain things. If you're running autos in between your full terms, however you would be working that in that style of system, you wouldn't necessarily tailor. I don't think personally specifically to those autos. You would just let them do their thing and have a diverse system. So like we were saying before, the plant kind of takes what it needs, and you'll like outdoors. I see cyanescence. I see the plants finishing themselves naturally, and we're aside from the specific tailoring we're doing on top, we're not doing anything that's taking things away from the soil essentially, right? Like there's plenty in there that could be utilized. And so in a context, it's too hot, but the plants are still finishing because they get what they need.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I'm also curious about what does the auto fade when it's done, even though you've planted it earlier on in the year?
So mine didn't fade to like the dark purple. I mean, it got some fade, but some of that dark purple is really brought on by the cold or heat.
Yeah.
You get heat or cold, real high extremes, one or the other, and it's brought on by that. So it didn't really do that pretty autumn color. Now, I think if I would plant it now and then carry it into the cold, I think it would, wouldn't it?
But I guess what I mean is because in living soil or whatever you want to call it, you're not flushing. No, you're not flushing. Right. So with an auto, I can be like, okay, those trichomes are done. I'm ready to harvest this, or in 2 weeks I'm going to be ready to harvest this, and I grow with salt, so I can just force a flush.
So flushing is like something we don't do. It's in our system, exactly what we don't do. But I believe my plants go a beautiful autumn color, and I don't flush ever. ever in my soil outside.
But I mean, the autos that are grown in this, or that are grown early in the year, do they still change color by the end? Because then is that just not when it's done? Like, are you not just like, okay, that's fading, it's done?
So I'd like to see in the small system, or like maybe even indoors, or like we said, in a smaller system as to how it works. Outdoors, I'll definitely keep everyone posted.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm starting to see them slowly come along. I'll have to double check because I haven't really given any love to them. I don't even know what day they're on right now specifically. I just know they're still bulking a little bit. The hairs are pretty much gone. It's pretty well timed. You know, the time is almost nigh. In my opinion, overall. Go ahead, Tara.
I have to say, I've come through Oregon later in the season, and I have seen autos change colors. You know, it's gonna depend on the cultivar as well. So,
well, another thing is I grow inside. I can't grow outdoors.
Yeah, you don't change the
space to do it.
Yeah.
So I can change. Yeah, I can. My night times when it late in flower are a little colder, but only by like 2 degrees. I'm not.
No, we're talking
I'm not using
like
cold.
30 degrees and
super cold.
2 hours. We dip down between, I don't know. Well, we're Fahrenheit. Okay, so I'm gonna talk Fahrenheit. You guys are Celsius. So Drake, talk Celsius what you guys get at night before you harvest.
It's absurd. The low, even right now we've got down to 12 degrees Celsius, which is help me with the Fahrenheit here.
50, wasn't it 50? 50
Yeah.
I think it was. We were trying to figure that out. This Celsius Fahrenheit shit, it gets us messed up.
I use my phone usually, but right now my phone's my fucking computer because my dog ate my laptop.
Anyways, we won't go that. We won't keep them arguing over that. We've had an amazing conversation today. We are going to be back in live at 3:00 today. Drake, do you have any final words?
I just wanted to clarify. You were talking about like the leaves fading out to like yellow, right? Not changing.
Yeah, I don't care about purple so much. I just mean, is it going to fade? Is it because they flush, right? Like in living soil, they flush themselves. They end up like finishing and they leach everything into themselves, right? They turn yellow eventually.
Yeah. They still go through their cyanescence process, which is just the plant knowing, okay, it's time to finish. It's time to ripen and be done with it.
Mine did fade. Mine did fade, but I also didn't feed them like I should. So I didn't know how much of that was what I didn't feed them. So I really can't say that I can speak on that. I want to just be truthful.
Yeah, that's great. That's a fantastic answer. Now, as Drakes go along, you're going to have answers for this from your experience.
We'll know more.
So that's why I brought it up, because I noticed they were still really green. Right. And they're getting pretty big. So they're also on their way out. So
this baby
that's really green too.
Is like 20 times greener than most of my plants in my garden. Like it's like, but I wow. Yeah, it's the greenest I've seen. Like, yeah. I think I should be embarrassed when I put it outside next to my
something to strive towards.
But it's so beautiful, and I'm so honored to get to be home with her and have this amazing plant and get to experience an AutoFlower grown like with your style. So now we kind of know what we're talking about. So this is cool.
I didn't grow that though. That's better than
it's grown kind of your style, Firebud style, right? With
very much
your class. So look at that.
I tell you right now, I promise you that people have had more success with the class than I have. Because I'm so fucking busy that oftentimes I end up neglecting a lot of shit, and I really screw things up. It's as of lately that this final crop here, and it's not even AutoFlowers, it's photo periods, that they're killing it. And it's like, okay, I finally figured out my stride, and I'm getting very like back to being good at it. But yeah, man, I keep, what it was is I kept screwing up the medium. Drake and I talked about it as well in the past. Funny. I keep dragging this on though. If you guys got to run, we can.
No, we're totally cool. I want to just make sure that we respect everybody's time. We'll be back on again. Any final statements before we take off, AutoFlower, Mr. Jesse?
Yeah, man. Just thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. It's really, I like the way you guys vibe. I like the vibe of the show. It's super fun.
Well, we're glad to chat again later, dude. We appreciate the time. We know you're extremely busy, so we just got you on a good day, so that's perfect.
Yeah, you really did. Yeah, that's perfect.
Much respect. You've got huge followers on Instagram. You've got an amazing following, and we're going to be awesome to have you back on later today. So we'll see you guys all at 3:00 today. If you got any questions, bring them, because we're going to have some cool growers here to chat it up about the AutoFlower and talk about that
The class.
grow. What do you call it? The grow class?
AutoFlower 101.
AutoFlower 101.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll talk about it later. Everybody have a great day.
Bye, y'all. Have a fantastic
Great afternoon.
day.
We'll see you soon.
See you at
Yeah.
3.